Hey guys, Aaron and RC here for the Rescue Boss. It's been some time, Aaron and I here, we're going to shoot a little bit of video tonight. We're missing Justin and Lance. They're both out working. They've got their full-time gig, and so we're out here today and do a little talk about some cancer stuff. The main reason that is I'm here today in Brilliant is Dad just got done with the cancer stuff and just had his last surgery, so we're talking a little bit about cancer in the fire service, cancer prevention, some stuff like that. So you know, we're going to talk mainly about things that as an individual we do, and things about as an organization as we do for cancer prevention and things of that nature. So this year Ohio just passed the Colombo bill for the presumptive cancer law for Ohio firefighters, which is a big win for all firefighters in the state of Ohio.
Definitely.
So definitely a big win. So Aaron, what's some things when we start talking about cancer prevention and some things like that, what kind of things do you try to do with Hillendale? You know, obviously Aaron's a volunteer and I'm a career guy, so there's some differences there. But and we got difference in facilities and those kind of things, but it's still a good conversation to get started. So what kind of things do you try to do as a firefighter through Hillendale Volunteer Fire Department to try to prevent the cancer stuff?
Yeah, I mean, one big thing that I do now that I never ever thought of doing before was washing my gear after every fire. Whether it's just a run of the mill room and contents fire or fully involved, whether I got interior attack or not, if there's any bit of soot or some type of product of combustion, I wash it. Before it was always like, you came back, you threw it on the rack, and you went on about your business. You maybe let it dry a little bit, but that's one big thing that I do now is after every fire, my gear gets washed.
I think that big thing there is it used to be a mark of honor or a mark of, hey, you're the big salty dog, but nowadays it's like, man, I don't want to do that, and that's one of the first things I do. And as soon as we back in quarters, get things straightened up, my stuff gets torn apart and thrown in there. But it kind of presents a logistics thing, and again, with the differences between organizations, I have a second set of gear I can go right into, and I'm in a second set of gear for the night. You don't necessarily have that option, which makes it rough, as a firefighter, because now your gear is getting partially washed or getting cleaned up. So how do you overcome that?
Yeah, it's almost like luck of the draw. You know what I mean? Like you got to tear that apart, and then if you get another run or something that you need gear on, if it's not EMS or whatever, you hopefully have a guy that's somewhat your size and is not as active, and you go steal their gear.
Yeah, that's we've done that. I've done that too as a volunteer, and that's probably the best thing to overcome that. And I guess that's we'll call it the lottery of whether or not
it's the luck of the draw.
The luck of the draw there is whether or not that guy's coming on the next run.
Right.
But
and then even so, you're I have my gear set up. When I go out on a fire, I know exactly what pocket has, what tool and, where my snips are and everything like that. If I get into someone else's gear, if I didn't have time to throw that stuff in there and set that up, if I get into a Mayday situation where I'm entangled, it's just all luck of the draw.
Yeah. And another thing and one of the big things, we did a cancer class at work, and one of the things the guy said is invite the wives. So my wife came, and she listened to the guy talk, which was pretty cool. But it also, at the same time, she's hitting me on stuff, and she's hammering me on some of the things because she knows it now. Right. And she, one of the things that she said, she looked at me afterward and she goes, "Do you wash your helmet?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And she's like, "Good, because our kids play with our helmets." I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
Every time my child's at the firehouse, she wants to play with the fire helmet, and that's a big one too. That, again, a badge of honor. Those guys used to be the salty dog and leave them dirty. So, that's another huge one, is getting helmets cleaned up.
Yeah, when I first started, it was like, you don't wash your helmet. It's bad luck. You know what I mean? You don't take that stuff off. It's bad luck, is what I was always told. And then, as all this research and stuff came out, guys started getting cancer. I mean, even a guy in my department had cancer as well. He's still battling that. And, it's things you don't think of. Yeah, you may clean the outside of your helmet, but do you clean the innards too? It's a comprehensive cleaning that needs to be done.
Yeah, and that's definitely the other thing too, is you don't want your kids getting that
Right,
stuff. It's
absolutely.
bad enough that I'm subjecting myself to it, and that's
Sure.
my choice. But I don't want to subject my family to it, and that's a huge thing.
Yeah,
So.
and I'll tell you, my biggest driver too is my wife's a firefighter as well, and like every time we come back, she's like, "Your gear clean?" And she's right there, so it's kind of hard for me to hide it and say, "Oh yeah, I cleaned it" or whatever, But yeah. So it's I think that is a big thing, and one thing that she even had me do, I think she got it from a class that she was in, is as the volunteer fire service, we come back, we don't have shower facilities, we don't have that availability to jump into reserve gear. But when we do come back, we are able to wipe our faces and our necks and everything off right away, get that stuff off, rather than before just whatever, and you went home and you took a shower, and then you got out of the shower and you realized all the soot was laying in the bottom, and then thinking your kids are getting in that next. It's a scary thing.
Even baby wipes, having baby wipes around the firehouse. We ended up putting, after our cancer class at work, our guys ended up getting some baby wipes, and we put them on both our engines, for that.
That's a great idea.
That thing. So that's nice to have. Even as a volunteer, it probably wouldn't be a bad thing to have a second set of clothes laying around the firehouse.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you go home, you're not contaminating your vehicles and that kind of gig. What other things do we, cancer prevention? Talked about the showers, big thing. Getting clothes, getting cleaned up.
Definitely.
The baby wipes are huge. There's something you can go to Walmart and buy, or
They're cheap.
Kmart or Kroger or whatever. They're cheap. It's a funny story on that side is after our class, our mutual aid guys, was there into class, went back to his firehouse, said, "Hey Chief, can we get some baby wipes?" And they ordered like 12 cases of baby wipes. So there was boxes and boxes of baby wipes. But hey, they're there, and we got to use them for some other runs.
Absolutely.
The other thing, do you carry your gear with you?
I carry one set of gear for the other department with me. Yeah, I do.
Do you keep it in a sealed container?
I try to. I'm not gonna lie. The last run I took it out and I just haven't put it back yet.
Right.
But no, I try to.
The other, the thing a couple weeks ago, went to do live burn, and I had trouble with my truck, and so with trouble with my truck, I had to take the wife's vehicle, and when we were flipping cars, she was like, "Here," and handed me a big thing of trash bags. "Put your fire gear in this when you're done."
Yeah.
Because she went to that class. Again, she's not a fireman, but she knows, hey,
She knows
here's this, and she knows enough that says, "Hey, here, put all your stuff in this and bring it back in my van." So
Don't be giving this stuff to me.
yeah, exactly. So, and again, everybody knows somebody that's had cancer in the fire service, and as research has gone on, we see it more and more, and we're starting to understand it more. And that's the thing is we gotta try to prevent it.
How long was Dad in the fire service? Like before? This research and stuff didn't even start coming out until what, post 9/11 we're talking about. So Dad was in the fire service when?
40 some years.
40 some years, right?
So early 70s, and Lord knows what they were exposed to then, because
Right.
they didn't have the regulations and standards and stuff. We talked about it the other night when the guys at Brilliant went to the Cardinal plant to do live burns. They used propane.
Right.
But the propane doesn't work for foam, and so it was like, man, it would have been great to just light some oil on fire,
Right.
But you can't do that anymore. But you think about the guys of yesteryear, what they did, and they did that stuff on a regular basis. That's how they trained, and that's what they did. So it worked out there. So just kind of in conclusion here, we've had a little chat about that, and we talked about things of yesteryear. The big thing, the big takeaway is clean your gear, guys. Wipe yourself off after a fire. Whether you're a career volunteer, it doesn't matter. Baby wipes are easy. If your department won't buy them, go buy a package of baby wipes. Put them in your car. Of course, when you get kids, you got baby wipes laying around. So
I have enough of those.
there's a package in the truck right now. So extra set of clothes at the firehouse, and just keep your stuff clean.
Take care of yourself.
Exactly. So, all right, guys. If you got any other thing, get on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Get on Twitter. Follow us. We're on Periscope. We're on YouTube. Get on there and follow us. Be a subscriber, follower. Got any questions? Got any comments? I love the questions, man. I've had some good questions here. We've posted them to the Facebook and the Twitter from different people. So keep them coming. We love it. If you got anything else, let us know. Again, you mad, bro?